slated for February 11th. We are doing a luncheon on public engagement throughout a project's life cycle. And I've been, we have Camille Stevens with Katz and Associates speaking on that. And then we have a Public Works Institute training coming up in March. So I think you may recall that a while back, we're doing different trainings towards Public Works Institute or the certification. So this would be one of those accredited courses towards that certification. And the topic on this one is water operations and maintenance. Steve Kahn and Kristen Faravanti are working with Ben Fine to put that together, and that should take place on March 11th. Again, all of these will be coming out in our newsletter. And then we also have award nominations out now. So if you have any people or projects that you'd like to nominate, I believe there are a couple more weeks left to get those nominations in. If you need the forms or if you have any questions, reach out to me or anybody on our chapter communications, and we can point you in the right direction. And then lastly, we have a few open positions available on the board. We're looking for a membership chair. The commitment there is only about an hour a month. And then attending the monthly board meetings. It's probably one of our lowest effort positions, but it's a good one to get, acquainted and learn more about the chapter and how we operate. Then we have our communications chair. It's about 2 to 3 hours a month, a little bit more of a commitment, but still fairly low effort. And that is working on the newsletter and our social media. So if you know anybody who may be a good candidate, or if you're interested, just reach out. You can email me directly, or Leroy, who happens to be our chapter vice president. I'm sure we'd be happy to help. So that is all I have for announcements. Leroy, do you want to take it away?
Sure. Thank you, Amy. So today I'm presenting on a project that was kind of a noted project for the county. It was kind of a milestone. It's called the Ashley Road Bridge Replacement Project. And Ashley Road was a bridge that was severely compromised in the January 9th, 2018 Montecito flood event. After careful consideration, examination of the damage to the bridge, the county decided to replace the bridge on an expedited schedule. So usually on a small, perfect project, it takes the county about 18 months between soliciting for design services to advertising. The county's goal in this project was to cut the time down to 5 months. So in order to accomplish this schedule, it was decided to do as much design as possible in-house and put our time towards the design. The structural design, we did award that to Rindy Consulting Group. We felt that was worth going out for the structural design part. The bridge design and construction schedule was as follows. We began planning and designing for the bridge in October of 2018. An advertisement for construction was released in February the following year in 2009, and Granite was awarded the project. Construction began in July of 2019 and ended in February 2020. They planned for 110 working days, which is about 5.5 months. And the replacement bridge dedication was on February 13, 2020, about 25 months from the Montecito event. Oops. The project included the following tasks: removing debris, and that was done by our construction team, reshaping the channel, was also done by construction, overseen by them. Design, selection, and installation of a temporary bridge that was also overseen by our construction team. And design the replacement bridge was, of course, the design team, and construction of the replacement bridge uh, was actually done by our construction team. I don't know why I said design. But and the dedication was handled by our administration team. And I'm just trying to say this took a group effort from a lot of different divisions in public works to accomplish this task. Let's see here. So a brief history about the bridge. The Montecito Bridge, or the Ashley Road Bridge, as we call it, was constructed in 1918 over Ashley Road, over Montecito Creek. The bridge consists of a single span cut stone masonry arch, and it was cut on stone masonry abutments and founded on larger cut stone masonry spread footings. Um, the arch is approximately, or has approximately 2 feet of backfill on top of the arch, and it's topped with asphalt, or it was topped with asphalt for a traffic wearing surface. The structure was 26.9 feet long and 23 feet wide, and the average daily traffic was about 531 vehicles per day. Though this bridge was 100 years old, it was designed to standards that have long since been replaced, but it continues to perform in the duties is strong, and shows a testament to the sound engineering judgment at the time. This little slide was actually a presentation that was put together for the centennial anniversary of the bridge. So here's a quick kind of comparison of what happened. On the left, you can see the bridge was pre-storm event. You can see the bridge rails here, and then the next picture. See right here. Yeah, you can see the bridge, what's left of the arch after the flood event. And from an aerial view, here you can still see the bridge railings, and then after the event, you can see the arch here. Now I'm going to prepare you because we're going to show you a video, and this video we originally were taking this video as part of work that prior to the storm event, we were working on a countermeasure, scour countermeasures for this bridge. And so part of this video was taken before the storm event, and probably just a few weeks before the event. And then it's going to transition into post event. So this footage was taken by our admin team. And there we see you can see the dramatic effect of the storm event. So the first step, of course, was clearing debris from the site. You can see there's a lot of material that was deposited. One of the noted items here is there's a large rock that was lodged on the upstream of the bridge at the inlet, and so I have it circled here. And here you can kind of get perspective of the size of that rock. Here's a gentleman that are drilling. They're going to blast this rock out. So we'll show you a little bit of that video. You can see the holes being drilled here up this rock face. And now this is a video of the actual demolition. And what was left was this. So obviously it worked very well, um, but uh, um, it took the team to come up with several ideas to try to remove these large rocks and debris out of the way. So once that was accomplished, uh, we installed a temporary bridge that was going to be for emergency access and pedestrian use. And the that bridge was founded on uh, just a spread footing. Here we have the two timbers on each side of this footing uh, compressed together with ties, and they're going to pour concrete in between these. On the right, you can see the building or the bridge being placed directly on the footings. Uh, Here, this is the cast, the forms prior to pouring the concrete, and here we can see the final product here. So it did its job. It lasted uh, for our duration. I don't think there was any emergency use, but the fire department, I believe, did drive over it a couple of times just to make sure they could access it. Here's a finished picture of the temporary bridge. And also, because it was a temporary bridge, was done under emergency work, we took the opportunity to shape the channel under that emergency work for what was going to be um, the final shape of the channel for the permanent bridge. So you can see that all this rock is all lined. See them in both pictures here. So we tried to take advantage of that um, so that during the construction of the permanent bridge, we wouldn't have to access the creek again. Here's a couple pictures of just some temporary utilities that had to be replaced. We had a water line, and this was a temporary realignment for the construction of the temporary bridge. And the water line is going to get reconnected here on the side of the bridge, and then underneath the bridge is a sewer force main that was attached as well. Um, so the hydrology and hydraulic design. Here we have on the left the watershed of the it was to the bridge is about 2,400 acres or about 3.74 square miles. The average watershed slope was 15%. So some interesting information is based on rainfall rates from the Montecito gauge 320 number 325. We have records that dated back to October 1926, with the highest 24-hour rainfall event shown in this table below. Um, the peak January 9th rainfall precipitation was 0.66 inches in 15 minutes. And so just looking at precipitation, at, at that precipitation, that runoff rate would be, or precipitation rate would be about a 50-year event. But of course, as we know, based on the watershed, the flow was a lot more than what a normal 50-year event would produce. Um, the flow rates that we use for the bridge design, we used a 100-year flow of about 5,000 CFS. 4,587 was our design, and we exceeded that slightly. Additionally, we had there was a side channel that came into the project, and its original construction was a 30-inch rock and mortar culvert, and it was also constructed in the early 1900s. And the existing culvert outlet was damaged during the January 9th event, and the pipe was plugged with sediment and debris. We did have thoughts of perhaps, reusing that culvert, but we could we solicited the help of Laguna Sanitation uh, to vacuum and try to uh, clear the culvert. And there were so many roots and everything also involved or lodged in the pipe that we just abandoned that idea and decided to build construct a new pipeline. And we also decided to move that pipeline to the downstream side of the bridge instead of the upstream. The drainage area for that was about 64 acres for that area. We also ran HEC grass for the bridge design. Here we on the left side, we have a geotiff of a 2018 lidar set that we obtained from flood control. Um, see, pre-storm in-house surveys was used to model the existing bridge. So the surveying that we were doing to model the or to work on the scour countermeasures, we use that information in our HEC graphs to model the existing bridge. Here we have some plans of, of the replacement bridge. Some of the design constraints that we had to overlook were 3 existing driveways. We could see 2 here, one on the northeast, one on the southeast, and one on the northwest driveway. Some of the other issues were the road itself was actually curved through here, and so we had to take consideration of that curve and also the change of the right of way. You can see here's our right of way line on the west side. We have a lot more right of way on the west, and then it narrowed down on the east side. So based on all the improvements that we wanted to include, uh, we had to position the bridge such that we didn't want to have to acquire any right of way. But we figured that was going to delay the project, and so we were able to fit everything within the existing right of way. Um, we had a 3% super elevation on the road, which we carried across the bridge because we really didn't have any area to transition that 3% back out. So we just carried that through the bridge. This is the adjacent drainage that I was talking about earlier. We'll show you some more details of that. And then one of the other things that we really came up during construction was the difficulty of trenching because the presence of large rocks from the alluvium, and so they had to be jackhammered out just to allot to do our utilities. The other thing that we're showing here, we're highlighting in this green area, is the approachment slabs, and the idea here is that flow is to the south here, is that should the bridge get overtopped again, that we wanted to be able to provide some way of having that flow come around. And so our approach slabs here included cutoff walls. I believe they were like 3 feet deep, and so that they could withstand some flows in the future if needed. Here's kind of the pipe that we were talking about. I already told you about the existing rock drain. Um, the existing rock drain drained on the north side and emptied out upstream of the bridge. And so we felt since this was a significant drainage area, it would be better to not have to carry that flow over and through the bridge, that we would take it and outlet it downstream of the bridge. So we designed an inlet on the upstream side, and then we also designed a graded DI in front of this driveway to one protect the driveway, and also to catch any flows that might overtop this inlet here. Um, the pipe was a 42-inch smooth wall HDPE culvert. And we had a head. It ended up having a head wall. Uh, oops, sorry. During construction, they modified this inlet where we had a head wall and a pipe that tied into this DI here. Um, this DI or this DI in the road was a 48 by 30-inch DI. It was pretty good size to take that pipe. But here we're this I showed you earlier the approach slabs. So we have cross sections, approach slabs. You can see we have the 3-foot cutoff. We're draining road drainage into the creek, but also being able to provide for overflow overflow that might come around and overtop the bridge. Our road, typical road cross section, we used two 10-foot lanes and 4-foot shoulders on each side. We did do some soil borings, and we contracted with Pacific Materials Laboratory out of Santa Barbara for that. Well, you could see, we've got mostly a silty sands and some shale as we get further down. Now the design, we chose box culverts, so 6 box culverts, precast. Each one was 3'6" by 2'6", and we had 4 conduits going through the bridge. But we also wanted to give the bridge an arch appearance because aesthetics is very important, in Montecito. So Greg Rindy came up with the idea of doing a fascia wall in front of the box girders that had an arch bottom, so that would give us the appearance. And then we would place stone veneer uh, on the fascia walls, so we would look like a stone arch bridge when we got done. So here's some photos of the drilling for the footings. The county that was we designed the footings. The bridge actually was the structural design had to come from the contractor. So each footing had four 24-inch drill piles, and they were 28 feet deep. Some of the issues they encountered water at the first 10 feet, and then there was sloughing. That caused some sloughing as we started down into the holes. Here you can see the pile cap has been poured. Now we're going to talk about the girder placements. So the girders, like I said, were responsible, the contractor's responsibility for design. We had 6 precast girders. As I said, there was 3'6" by 2'6", and they were 62 feet long. We had 4 conduits in each one. You can see the fascia wall. The fascia wall is going in. Sorry. The fascia beams rest on the pile caps. They're bolted to the box girders. As I said, the fascia was going to give it the appearance of an arch bridge, and we would have some stone veneer. So here in this first photo, we can see the fascia wall being moved into place. And the second photo over here, they're just about got it lined up. And you can see the lintels here. They're going to be used to support the veneer material. So the fascia stones were hand cut stones. They were about 4 inches thick. The weight of a full size stone was about 80 pounds. And since we're trying to, the the goal here was to stay out of the creek and prevent eh, um, environmental issues. So scaffolding was hung over the top of the off the fascia for the workers to place the veneer. And the capstones you can see here, they were pinned together. And once everything was done, uh, the it was pressure washed to take off and clean off any excess grout that might have gotten onto the stones. So here we're trenching for the storm drains. As I said, required some jackhammering. So you can see here they're trying to put in the storm drain. And they're having to jackhammer through. Here we have the outlet for the storm drain, and the head wall, which I was talking about, was cast in place on the upstream. You can see back here is the inlet that was originally designed. We were going to actually have the um, the the channel come up to the inlet and then flow directly into the inlet. But during construction, they felt we needed to bring this back, and that's why they installed a head wall here. Um, we use precast inlet tops, so you could see here on the right. This is the inlet before the driveway that I was talking about, and like I say, here you can see this is the new outlet. We had rain during construction, so you can see it's working. It's taking the flow and it's coming off the rock riprap. So um, the deck had the number 5 rebars at 12 inches each way. It was a 5-inch thick concrete deck poured over the girders, and it was poured on November 8th. And you can see the concrete coloring was used in the deck and was also used in the approach slabs as well. But on November 9th, they had to jackhammer out the deck because the fibers were not included into the concrete mix. So the deck had to get re-poured on November 15th. You could you can see here in this photo, they're jackhammering out the deck that was just poured. The approach slab thickness was 8 inches, and we had drain aprons were constructed with rebar and cut-off walls to accommodate the overtopping flows and to also protect um, uh, the slopes from the road drainage. You can see in this photo here, these are styrofoam blocks that were used as knockouts for the railing that was going to get attached, and so they blocked those out. You can also see them peeking through here on the slab. Now the rails presented a little bit of a problem for us. We had to field fit the look and how the rails were going to match. So the rails and crash cushions on the bridge required finessing in the field by the masons to create a finished look. Grout was added behind the guardrail connections, and a fascia stone was ground for the crash cushions. So as you can see in this photo, this is the connection, and it just didn't look very good. So the masons added grout behind that, and this was the finished product here. And for the crash cushions, you can kind of see where we ground out and smoothed off the veneer stone to connect the crash cushions. Construction paving. The roadway pavement section consisted of 4/10 of AC over a foot of Class 2 base. And then the driveway sections, we used a 0.25 feet of HMA over a half a foot of Class 2 base. You can see here that the bridge, after the deck was poured, they placed some filter fabric over the bridge so that they wouldn't that the asphalt machine wouldn't mark up the top of the bridge. This is a driveway approach here. This is on the east side. You can see the bridge up here in the back, and then we can see other photos of pouring or laying the asphalt. This is a aerial view of the completed bridge. It was taken from the downstream looking up. So you can see we have this nice arch look to the bridge. And it looks like a stone bridge. And this is a bicycle railing that had to be added. It was planned um, for bicycle crossings. Bridge dedication was on February 13, 2020. It had a ceremony. And here's our first citizens. We have a little video of our first citizens crossing the bridge. Oops, what happened? Hold on. Here we go. So here I wanted to show you, kind of overlap these two pictures. This is the replacement bridge has actually more cross-sectional area than the original bridge. So you can see this is the opening of the original bridge, and this is the opening of our new bridge, replacement bridge. Bridge cost, or the project cost. For the temporary bridge installation, our total cost was about $203,000. We saved money by refurbishing the temporary bridge from another county project. And so that saved us time and money in getting that bridge installed. The permanent bridge replacement cost us about $2.25 million, $2,250,000. The design cost, in-house design, was about $175,000. Construction cost were $1,800,000, and then our inspections cost was $278,000. So combined, the whole project cost us about $2.5 million. And that's the end of my presentation. If you have any questions, we're open to take them.
Well, coming from the county of Santa Barbara, this is Chris Doolittle. I think you've set a very dangerous precedent that we're going to be forced to have to follow in terms of time of completion of design for a bridge. So thanks. Well, thanks there, Leroy.
Hey, my pleasure.
Yeah.
We always strive.
That was quick.
So I do have a couple of interesting facts while we're waiting for people to think of some questions, if you'd like. So here's some quote fun facts. Um, Public Works overall cost for cleanup and repairs due to debris flow was about $140 million, which does not include all the reimbursements to flood control or transportation departments. The majority of the cleanup cost has or will be reimbursed. So in other words, we had to put that money out of pocket. Um, bless you. The Ashley Bridge Replacement Project is one of 16 county bridge repairs and or replacement projects resulting from the debris flow. We estimate a total of about 500,000 cubic yards of sediment and earthwork was removed from the area, most of which was in flood control work, clearing and improving the channels and the basins. And the majority of the transportation projects resulting from the debris flows are near completion, and flood control continues their efforts to improve basin capacities in the area. So we still have some ongoing work there.
I have another comment since nobody else is asking.
Sure.
I'll provide a comment. I think it's just remarkable that this stone arch bridge remained essentially intact with the amount of damage destruction that we saw along this whole corridor and the amount of scour that was there. When we went to the site to look at this bridge, the arch itself remained completely intact, and it was just the barrier wall, or not barrier wall, the barrier rail on top of the bridge that was completely removed. But you can see the arch is still intact. And there were several large, absolutely large boulders that were still stuck in there. And I had some help from Caltrans to blow those boulders up. And a lot of them were, these are 8 to, 15-foot size boulders. And I was so concerned, Leroy, that I was going to damage this bridge because I thought we were going to put it back in service. And I was really scared that I was going to do some damage. And so they blew up the rocks, and lo and behold, it didn't affect the bridge at all. And I wiped my brow, and then I hear that you guys just went ahead and demoed it. So thanks.
All your concern is out the window.
Exactly.
Well, we looked around to find somebody who would stamp the repairs, and I don't think we could find anybody that was willing to do that. Was part of the problem. But yes, it's amazing how that arch stayed in the with all this debris flowing over it. I mean, we've always learned in engineering about the power of an arch design, and I think this kind of really is a testament to that.
Thanks, Leroy. That was a really interesting project and good presentation. So thanks a lot.
Well, I want to thank everybody that worked hard on this together. I mean, it took a lot of effort for people to put this together in-house. Yes, we had to put other projects on hold, and others kind of picked up where they needed to keep the other projects moving somewhat. But it was an interesting project, and a lot of hard work on everybody's part. You want to see that blowing up that rock again?
That was my favorite part.
know.
Yeah, this was a great presentation. Thank you, Leroy. If nobody has any other questions, after we watch this demo one more time, I want to go ahead. I want to go ahead and not forget about this month's raffle. We have a $25 gift card, this time for Orchid Burger. We wanted to choose a local business that was accessible to throughout our giant chapter region. So Orchid Burger is our local business of the month. So I'm going to
Okay.
share my screen if you don't mind.
Go right ahead. So they need to stop sharing.
Leroy, this is Sean from M&S. Do you have other bridge projects coming up in the Montecito area, like Cold Springs or any others?
Not of this magnitude. There's just minor things we've done. Most of the projects have already been out for, they've already been, the plans have been constructed. We're out for, um, advertisement for construction.
Hey, Leroy,
So-
this is Walter. So, Sean, we do have the Cold Springs Bridge replacement on East Mountain Drive. That's going to probably
Oh,
go out
true.
either next year or the following. And then we're currently in construction on the San Ysidro crossing, which is more of a private driveway within a public easement.
Okay, good. Thank you.
Awesome, thank you. Okay,
Bridge 200. That will
what was
be
that?
advertising in the next couple months.
For Cold Springs?
That's on Lilac Road in Montecito.
Okay. Okay, great. I'm gonna go ahead and click the button here. We've got everyone's name in. It looks like we had about 5 people drop, so. Oh, I was afraid it was gonna land on this one. David, I don't know your last name. You're signed in as city of ... So.
David Appy.
Oh, Dave Appy, hi. Okay, great.
Hi.
So.
So this isn't market? How about, you know what, I'm going to be magnanimous, hopefully it's seen that way. How about if you spin again? Because I don't think I'll be getting down to Orchid anytime soon.
Yeah, there's a location, I believe, in SLO County. So in AG and then in Lompoc. But I can spin again.
Yeah, that'd be great. But I do appreciate it.
Okay, Tom Evans. Are you on?
He had to step out.
Okay, I'm gonna spin one more time. Everyone's chances are getting a little bit better.
Well, while we're waiting for the spin, I would like to say if anybody's interested in joining APWA, please let me know.
Daisy, if you're, yeah, that's a great point. I believe Daisy is actually.
Congratulations, Daisy.
Yeah,
This is
except
Northwest.
I don't think they have an Orchid Burger in Portland.
Okay, one more.
I could overnight it to you, Daisy.
The challenge of finding something local yet accessible. Okay, Matt Hernandez.
I think we should just give it to Leroy.
Okay, done.
No.
All right, Rob Down.
I'll take it.
It is all yours. I will get it to you.
I'll let you guys know how good it was.
Please do. All right, that's it. Then thank you everyone for joining. Thank you, Leroy, so much for this awesome presentation. Look out for our next events, upcoming news in our upcoming newsletter. Thank you.
Great. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Leroy.
Great
Great job, Leroy. Thank you.
Thank you,
Nice
Greg.
presentation, Leroy. Nice job.
Thank
Great
you.
job. Thank you.
Nice job to the county of Santa Barbara.